discussion of transcendence. Sometimes what you have to transcend is actually far more physical than you realize. Sometimes what you have to transcend is the energy of people that are on a lower vibrational timeline than yourself. So I want to dive into this concept of letting them go, letting the individuals that are part of your journey go when it's time to let them go. We all have an energetic timeline that is calibrated based on what we are doing, what we are emitting, our actions, our deeds, our thoughts in any given moment. And it's all accumulative. So what we have accumulated in terms of our own karmic signature is in part previous lifetimes, but also very, very acutely this lifetime. So there's always a certain amount of karma we come into this life with, but generally when we're working with our soul's blueprint and our own lessons and learning in this lifetime, I like to focus more on, what has come before. So all of the events, actions, interactions that you have personally created in your lifetime, and then future. So your future timeline allocations or alignments. So the best way to understand this is that everything that came before in this lifetime is working in tandem to create the reality that you see now. And it is self-directed. So what you are doing in terms of having an active role in the experience you're experiencing is those interactions and the actions that you are doing daily. So you can think of it as, putting goodwill into the piggy bank of life. So every time you do something positive, every time you help lift another person up, every time you engage in something that is high vibrational. So, you go and you take a dance class, a karate class, you're learning a musical instrument, you are, signing up for a class, whatever it is that's bettering yourself, that's adding to that investment in that high vibrational timeline that's going to out manifest for you. And it's all calibrating. And the thing that's truly interesting about this kind of karmic calibration is oftentimes the things that we do that nobody sees, the true authentic kindness that is genuinely emanating from our soul, it's not something that the ego gets a benefit from. So you're in the middle of the woods, you pick up that piece of garbage, you help that little critter, you do something that nobody sees. Actually, in terms of the entire system, it actually calibrates so much higher than those things that you're doing for external validation. Okay. And then of course, there's all of the things that you do that have a negative calibration. Okay. So that is something that you have to work through. This is the process of your soul learning. It's not a bad thing in the sense that when you do something that is lower vibrational, doesn't mean you're terrible, awful, rotten being. It means that you are learning. So you are existing in this distorted state. You are not achieving that higher level of out manifestation of what it is you truly are, your true soul essence. And you are dabbling in lower vibrations. And what happens when you do that? What happens when you go out and you drink? You go out and, mess around on your spouse, or talk, down to somebody, gossip about somebody, steal from somebody, whatever it is that is lower vibrational, ego-based, validation kind of engagement, that is going to be mirrored back to you. So it's a really simple system that we live in. Do unto others as you would have done unto you. That means do what you want to experience, because it's going to be mirrored back to you. So if you're really running amok and doing all of these terrible things and hurting all these people, and you're not protecting and loving and guiding and inspiring others, well, that's what the world is going to mirror back to you. And oftentimes what you're going to find in terms of this calibration is it's mirrored and magnified. So this magnification of that negative thing that you've done is really going to be showcased back to you, so that your consciousness, your soul, the essence that you are goes, aha, okay, that's bad. And then you're going to kind of, loop back to that point in time where you did that thing, you did that negative thing, go, oh, well, you know what, maybe, what goes around comes around. I was engaging in that behavior, I acted that way, and now it's getting mirrored back to me. So now I truly understand at a core soul frequency level what the heck I did wrong, and I'm not going to want to do that again, because that hurts. That I'm feeling that, and that's that emotional energy. You're really starting to feel that kickback mechanism of the whole karmic system. And so then let's talk about timelines and the calibration of the experiential timeline that you are here to experience. So as you move up the spectrum, as you're, showing up and shining and just emitting this positive vibrational, high vibrational, unconditional loving energy, and then also acting in that way, so doing things of service, helping others, just showing up in your glory, so to speak, that's when you are able to access those higher timelines, those higher realities. You can think of it as a video game. As you save the princess, as you do, get your buddies out of whatever it is in the video game, as you do these good things, and as you collect these little, diamonds and coins and whatever, you can think of those as good deeds. Things, other levels open up to you in terms of reality, and that's the way the system works. So let's talk about those people that propagate the lower vibrational timelines. And sometimes, it's difficult. Sometimes these people show up in the incarnation as your parent, as your sister, as your best friend, as your spouse, your boss, your whatever it is. Sometimes you have these very difficult individuals in your immediate reality, and it's hard to let them go. It's hard to let them go because there's love there. There are energetic tethers that keep you bound to them, because some of it is trauma bonding, some of it is the fact that we don't want to be alone. But even in that, what your soul is calling you to do by letting those individuals go is that you are aligning with your own moral code. If you are living righteously and those individuals are not showing up in that emanation, in that experiential output of those higher states of being, then what your soul is asking you to do is say, you know what? This doesn't align with who and what I am. It doesn't mean I don't love you, because we're always going to stay in that state of mercy and unconditional love. You can love somebody with all of your might from afar. You can love them, but that doesn't mean that they are on the same timeline as you, and that doesn't mean that they get constant access to you. And so, by way of you letting them go, you do two things. You substantiate and solidify the infrastructure of your own grounded belief system. You are saying and announcing to the universe, to God, to whatever is out there, that this is who I am, and these are my boundaries, and I'm not going to go outside of those boundaries. And because of that, you're going to call towards you better and better people that also hold those standards, that also have those high values, okay? But then there is a dualistic element to this that is very helpful for those that are residing on those lower frequencies, that are engaging with those lower behaviors. They end up seeing a lot of great people as well disappear from their lives, and they in essence will come to their rock bottom, and then they will have this catalyst moment of their own where they move into a spiritual awakening, where they are forced to self-evaluate. Because what happens when people that are low are existing at this lower vibrational level, when they pad their existence with high vibrational people, with great people, loving people, and they have enough of these people around, they're essentially bypassing their own hard work. They kind of lean on the positive energy of those great, kind, loving, giving, humble, wonderful people around them, and they experience and almost like energy vampires feed off these really good, kind, caring people. And when they have them, they're allowed to engage in this negative, sort of violative energy while kind of grasping at all the good ones around them. And it's not until those good people, those people that are, and again, it's not a good evil thing. I don't really want to mark it that way. They are in distortion. Anybody that is existing on that lower vibration, they're beautiful, wonderful souls. They're just living in distortion. But what is preventing their progress is those at the higher levels of being helping them out, bailing them out, always being there to kind of calm them down and almost let them know, okay, yeah, your behavior wasn't great, but I love you, right? I'm here for you. No, you have to cut them off. You have to say, you know what, you have to be willing to say, you missed the mark and I love you, but I'm over here. And when you're ready to meet me over here, then energetically we can bond. Then energetically we can be in alignment. I'm not going to lower my vibrational frequency to meet you down here in the bottom. And that's the standard that you have to hold when you are rising up. So hopefully this video gave you a little bit of insight today. I've got to get back to work, but have a beautiful rest of your, I don't even know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, but anyways, I'll see you in the next video.